Hi everyone, and welcome back to Keep the Peace. We have another Ninjago March 2024 set review today, and this time it's another big one. It's set number 71819, the Dragonstone Shrine. This set, along with all the others, was sent to us by the LEGO Ambassador Network, so big thank you to them for sending us these sets. That being said, I will give you my opinions about this set. This set has 1,212 pieces. It goes for $119.99 in dollars or euros, or $104.99 in pounds. I'm really excited to talk about this one because this one is a 13 plus set. So it's kind of a bit of an experiment probably for Ninjago, because most Ninjago sets are aged younger. So this is more for like teenagers or adults. And I'm really excited to see if that's going to change how the set is built and just how different that makes the set in general. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the review. Let's start with a look at everything we get in this set, which is quite simple here. We get the Dragonstone Shrine structure itself with the little tree up top here. And of course our minifigures, which are Master Lloyd, Lord Raz, Nia, Kai, a new Wu, Euphrasia, and her hood piece. We'll begin by looking at the minifigures in this set. First we have from left to right, Kai, Nia, and Euphrasia. Kai and Nia in this set are in their 2023 Dragons Rising suits, but here they are wearing their hair and headband pieces, which is really nice to see. I pretty much said this in most of my 2023 reviews that I preferred this look over the mask piece, so I think it's quite cool to get them here like this. For Euphrasia, I have the version with her hood here. It's her classic old style Lego minifigure hood piece in white. Kai and Nia have the armor piece of course, and their prints are a more simple gi with a bit of a color gradient and their first letter here on the front. Euphrasia has this blue robe that's over a white outfit with a blue belt and a golden belt bucket. The blue part of the outfit has this really nice like symbol or pattern on it. On the back you can see that the headbands of Kai and Nia continue here as well of course on this piece. You can also see the back of their armor pieces where you can of course add their katanas. For Euphrasia, we have similar symbols and patterns here as we have on the front. If we take away some of the accessories for Kai and Nia, you get to see more of their torso. I also showed all of the alternate faces in the front here. We have double-sided faces for all three of these characters. For Euphrasia, I of course also added her hair piece here. On the back, you can see for Kai and Nia that we have the other sides of the face, as well as these cool dragon symbols with some elemental patterns around them. All of these figures get some kind of minifigure accessories. Both Kai and Nia get two katanas you can put on their backs with the armor piece. And additionally, Kai gets this golden sword built with a dragon hilt and this machete piece. Nia gets two sai, also built with the dragon hilt piece. And Euphrasia gets this cool staff that's built with like a clear cylinder piece and a mech finger. I'm not exactly sure what the clear piece is supposed to be. It might be some kind of crystal, or maybe it represents her wind powers. We get, of course, three more minifigures in the set, which are Master Wu, Master Lloyd, and Lord Raz. I really wonder what's up with Wu, and I really wonder if he's gonna show up in the TV show. All of these are really detailed. Wu, of course, gets his white beard and a golden hat in this set. He also has his new robe design, which we'll see a lot better once we remove the beard. Master Lloyd we already know from the Che Mech set, but in this set he has this Mr. E-type golden armor. He has a wonderful robe with dragon scales on it, these two golden dragon emblems, and two little tags with the Ninjago letter L. He of course uses the hair with the headband piece. The headband is bright green here. Lord Raz of course uses his printed tiger head, the purple stone warrior armor, and he has this very intricate purple and black robe with some blue armor details on it. On the back of these figures we can see that they all have printing on the back. You can see for Wu, he has this shiny golden emblem with a hood that kind of covers it a little bit. I would love to see Wu with a hood. I think that could look really cool. Lloyd has this dragon symbol on the back of course with some more detailing around it. And Raz has this crescent moon symbol with his name in Ninjago. Taking away some of the accessories, we get a better look at the printing, especially here on Wu. As you can see, he has this dark tan cloak that wraps around his neck and goes over like another robe underneath. He has this little dragon emblem here on the side, and there's some really nice golden patterning on this robe. I really like this outfit for him. Out of all these figures, only Lloyd has an alternate face of course, because Wu's would show and Raz has an animal head. For Raz, you can also see a bit more of the top of his torso printing now that the armor is gone. And when we turn these figures around, you can of course see the back printing in its full glory here on Ra's. These figures get some accessories too. Wu gets a staff with one of these dragon hilt pieces on both sides, while Ra's surprisingly doesn't get a hammer in this set. Instead he gets an axe with this little trans purple stud and a normal 1x1 tile here on the side. Lloyd gets this super long polearm that uses his Dao sword as a blade and a little tassel in the back. And additionally to all these accessories, we also get this little piece of paper, I guess. This uses the Lego book cover piece in white, and it has a sticker on it saying invite in Ninjargon. There's some more like scribbles on the side and this little golden seal here, and I've seen a lot of people speculate that this might be a teaser for the future of Ninjago, so that's really exciting. Now let's look at the build of the set itself, which is of course the Dragonstone Shrine. This is basically just one big structure and it's very much built for display, so I want to give you a full turnaround of the model first before showing you all of the details. I really like how the structure looks in total, and there's a lot of little stuff to admire. Starting out here at the bottom, here in the center we have this little pond area. The water streams down from the dragon's mouth of course, and we have some nice little bubbles or splashes here with these clear studs. In the water area itself there are some koi fish. These are printed trans blue 1x2 tiles, and we have some little blossoms here swimming on the water. This area just in general looks really nice and calm. I love how this area looks. We have two of these stepping stones in the water, and you can of course place minifigures on here. This just seems perfect for Nia to meditate here, and maybe Euphrasia can join her here in the back. If we look at this pond area here from the top, you can see that there's some green and black pieces under the water, and that kind of gives the illusion of depth. This is a technique they use in a lot of the Ninjago City sets, so I think it's really nice that they use it here as well. In the front we have this little bit of water flowing out of the pond with this trans blue slope, and we generally just have a rocky area here on the side with some moss on it, as well as some more of these little blossoms. Over on the side we have the roots of the tree wrapping around this build. When we rotate it we can kind of see like how there's more of these little flower pieces here, and we can adjust the roots a little bit. This one can go up and down, the other one a bit inward and outward, and this one we can rotate. If we rotate the whole structure even further, you can see how the tree grows into the actual rock structure of the dragon statue. If we go to the other side, we have more different kinds of rock structures here, with some more of these little flower pieces and moss detailed. We can see here that on this side we have another little water stream coming through here out of the pond. If we look behind the little waterfall, you can already kind of peek into the interior of the shrine, which we'll look at in more detail next. In this lower chamber we have what seems like a little library maybe, with a little candle here on the side and a whole bunch of different scrolls in a shelf. On top of the shelf we have a little chi crystal, which is an intentional reference according to the designer of this set, so that's super fun. And next to it we also have this little golden statue. There's a good amount of space in here, and once again we have these little round jumper tiles, so we can very easily place a minifigure in here, so maybe Lloyd's searching for a scroll and Boo can help him search. On the side of this little room we have another little root and some blossoms over here. Moving up a little bit, there's this angled rock in this front area with some moss and blossoms on it. We can of course place minifigures on it like Lord Ra's up here and maybe Lloyd over here. Now they can have a little bit of a fight on this rock because this thing actually has a function. On the other side there's this little activator here in the back which is quite well hidden. It just looks like a rock, and you can move it to shake this whole rock structure left to right. This is how it looks from the other side, and you could go quite fast, so you can try to throw up one of your minifigures from this. On top of this platform we also have a little lantern here hanging from the tree. This has a golden print on both sides and looks quite nice. On the other side of the build there's of course the dragon statue. And this arm of the dragon you can see here is actually quite posable. We have a mixel ball joint in the shoulder and another one in the wrist. And of course we can also pose the fingers of the dragon individually. This is kind of the position the hand has on the box art, but you can of course turn it around like this, for example, so we have some studs here on top if you want to place a minifigure on it, for example. The instructions kind of have the hand more to the side like this, so there's different options you can do. The other hand of the dragon is more fixed in place, because the tree seems to have grown over this area. But you can still pose the fingers of the dragon individually, of course. The dragon itself is built really nicely with like different textures, little moss details, and you can already kind of see here in this little gap the interior for the second floor. The detail on the dragon of course continues all the way to the back here. On the second floor we have on one side this little painting here on the wall. It shows some kind of temple structure with some dragon flying around it, and I've seen some people speculate that this might be a future location in the show or maybe even a set, which would be super cool to tease it that way. Underneath we have a small table with 4 teacups and a teapot, and there's some golden like decorations on the side of that painting. In the back of the room there's another little painting which is a sticker as well. There's a candle on the table in front of it. I can take it away so you can see the full sticker. And it seems to show some figure that looks a lot like Wu receiving a scroll from this big dragon head here on the side. On this side of the room we have another little bookshelf, but we'll come back to that later. The back of the dragon uses these big windshield pieces in grey. This reminds me a lot of the tree build from the Temple of the Dragon Energy course. And now back to the bookshelf. If we push on the books in the shelf, this actually activates a function where this upper windshield falls off and it reveals a hidden book in here. There's also 2 candles in here, one on each side, and the book itself is all black and has a sticker on its front which has a Ninjago 5 on it, as well as these 5 little shapes around it. Here you can see how the function works. Pushing in the books kind of moves the side part with the candle, pushing out the big grey windshield piece. If we open up the book, we can see that there's another sticker on this piece inside. That seems to show a figure that looks like Wu, but kind of like dark and menacing. There's golden flames around the figure and a Ninjago 1. I wonder if there will be more of these. The book can of course also be held by a minifigure, so they can read it and learn all its dark secrets. All the way on the top we of course have the dragon head, which is a really nice build with 2 horns here in the back, covered in these olive pieces to represent some more moss. And there's these little eyes in here in trans blue, so that might be part of the water actually. Of course we have the water flowing down out of the dragon's mouth, and from this angle you can also kinda here in the front see the dragon's teeth a little bit. The dragon head looks pretty much all the same on the other side, but it's just obstructed by the tree a little bit. Speaking of the tree, this tree has these wonderful pink leaf segments. A lot of them are pretty much identical, and you actually just place them at different angles when you build it. You can adjust these branches quite a bit. If you want to, you can even rotate like this whole segment here, or even this whole area here is on an angle, so you can angle this up and down. In the back, the tree is a bit more gappy here, so I think it's more meant to be displayed from the other side, but you can of course reorient the leaves a little bit and then cover this side a bit more. The set in a lot of ways really reminded me of the Temple of the Dragon Energy course, so I really wanted to see how these 2 sets look next to each other, and I wanted to show that off to you guys as well. And I think that could make for a really nice Ninjago display with these 2 sets. We get a whole lot of spare pieces in this set, so that kind of gives you an idea how many small pieces are used in the set, and we of course also get a brick separator. We have 1 sticker sheet in this set. All of the stickers are these little paintings in the interior or for the book and stuff like that, so nothing really crucial for the actual structure itself. But I kind of feel like for a display set like this, it would have been really nice to just have everything printed, since stickers are always like the first thing that gets affected by dust and light. We have 1 big instruction booklet with some ads for the other sets in the back, as well as some pictures that show off some of the functions. This set for me came with plastic bags. Okay, it's time to give you my overall thoughts and opinions about this set. And I just want to start out, this set is like, as I said in the beginning, a bit aimed for an older audience than your normal Ninjago set. And I think you can really tell with this one, especially when you build it too. This is very detailed, dense, it's very much focused on display and not as much on play. There are some play features of course, there's nice minifigures, there's some nice interior you can play in. But I don't think that's the focus. The focus is to have a nice structure for display. All the play features are very well hidden, so none of them disturb the look really. So this is a display set first and a play set second. The set costs $120 for 1,212 pieces. I think it's quite interesting that in this set wave we have 2 sets at that price point, this one and the Shadow Dojo. And they're kind of polar opposites in that regard, where the Shadow Dojo is your classic play set, and this is your display focused set for maybe like the older fans. That being said, the Shadow Dojo has 8 minifigures, this one only has 6, so that might be a point for some people. I do think the minifigures we get are quite nice, especially Euphrasia and Wu, which are exclusive to this set. Nia and Kai, I really like that we get the hair pieces, but they're not as exciting, the other figures, because we get them in a bunch of other sets as well. I do think this is kind of like the main side of the set. If you display it, the back is probably like more the side you have towards the wall, but you can of course show all the detail, and then like if you want to show this set to someone, you can show them all the functions, all the hidden details. So I do think it's also really cool that you have a nice interior here. One thing I noticed with like family members of mine and stuff who saw the sets I was building, they were like, wow, this one's really eye-catching, this one's really exciting. And that's really good because I mean that's the point of the set. You want this to stand out, you want this to look cool. And I also really want to find a good place to display this because I really like the look of this set in general. One thing I do want to warn people kind of about is the set is not that big. It's pretty small, like size-wise. It has 1,212 pieces, so you get quite a building experience out of it. The building experience is what you would expect from a set at that price point, but the size it ends up being at the end is not that big. It's just very dense, has a lot of very small pieces and very small details. So the overall size is not that huge, but I think that's something people should know before getting the set. There's one last hidden secret in this little set, and I don't want to spoil this for you if you want to get it yourself, so I'll put this after this little section here with my final thoughts and opinions. So if you don't want to know about that, now's your time to probably leave. Big thank you to the LAN once again for sending us this set, and I will reveal that final last little secret of the Dragonstone Shrine now. There's one last secret left to be discovered in the Dragonstone Shrine, and to find it we have to disassemble the set a little bit, so this isn't really supposed to be accessible easily or anything like that. But here in the base of the build itself there's a piece hidden, and it's the teapot of Tyran. And no worries, this isn't more endless Nauticon teasing, this is not meant to be a hint for the future of Ninjago or anything like this. It's just a reference to the designer's favorite season, and that is Skybound. And one last thing the designer also mentioned is a lot of these bright colors that you can see in here that are kind of like the filler pieces, which a lot of LEGO sets do of course, are actually purposefully chosen to be the ninja's colors. So they're meant to represent the colors of the ninja and Wu, which I think is a fun little idea. I mean, we get a lot of like bright colors in a bunch of LEGO sets, but I think it's funny to like purposefully choose specific colors like this. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you soon for more Ninjago content here on Keep the Peace, and be sure to subscribe. See y'all!